Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's a pleasure to be here with you, and I say that with all sincerity. I enjoy this time together. My name is Dr. Arnold Nerenberg. I'm a licensed clinical psychologist, licensed to practice in the state of California for over 46 years. I've been in the field about 50 years, and I've been on this earth going on 80 years in 6 weeks from now. I want to present to you some knowledge and inspiration and lessons that my intention is to uplift you and your loved ones for the rest of your lives. That's honestly what my intention is, for this knowledge to do that for you. The title of today's presentation is How to Overcome Regret Over What You Did and Over What You Didn't Do. How to overcome regret over what you did and over what you didn't do. We've all done things that we have some regret, and we've all had some things that we regret we didn't do. We're going to talk about the two categories. Generally, the regret over what we did has to do with hurting people. That's a lot of the regret that we have. And a lot of the regret over what we didn't do ultimately hurt us. Things we did that would have improved our situation and emotionally, spiritually, financially. So that's the two categories of regret. Now, when we get into, as we get to talk about this and you have regret, certainly it's not to have you beat yourself up. You want to be forgiving yourself. I'm going to talk to you about how the best way to overcome this. But if you've done wrong things and you have regret over it, you've hurt people, and if you feel some guilt or shame, that's okay. In fact, that's appropriate to feel guilt or shame for the wrongs we've done. A little bit. Not what's devastating to us. That shows that you're a decent human being, that you do feel some guilt, that you do feel some shame. Not everybody feels shame over the wrongs they've done. That's it's a gift, because it helps keep us from doing those things again. But again, not where it becomes devastating and prolonged, or beating ourselves up day in and day out. Then it's not healthy. But a certain amount of guilt and a certain amount of shame is healthy. Past a certain point, it's unhealthy. But I'm going to teach you, I want to show you ways to deal with that. I'll give you one of the bottom lines now. You want to tell yourself, I have not always lived, this has to do with the regret over what you did. The statement there is, I've not always lived with honor, but I will die with honor. I've not always lived with honor, but I will die with honor. If you look at the wrongs you did, they could be sexual indiscretions, that's very common, financial indiscretions, legal indiscretions. These are the common ones. You've been betrayed in life, and you betrayed. That's usually the regret over those types of things. The key there is to harness the regret. See, the regret can be an ally to you. It's not your enemy, as long as you're not going into excessive shame and excessive guilt. It's an ally because it solidifies your resolve to not do such a thing again. It solidifies your resolve to not go there again, to not put yourself in a situation where you're going to reoffend in whatever way that you did. That's how we harness that energy. I have not always lived with honor, but I'll die with honor. I did that. It was wrong. Now, the key is, and this is key, the wrongs that you did, the wrongs that I've done, we must be able to say to ourselves, and 99% this is true, I knew right from wrong. I did. And I deliberately and consciously chose wrong over right. It's key. Most people want to deny that, but they're lying to themselves. And I don't want you to lie to yourself. I don't lie to myself. And the wrongs I've done, I knew it. I asked God for forgiveness, but I knew I was doing it. I knew right from wrong, and I chose wrong over right deliberately. And I don't blame my parents. I don't blame society. It's on me. Now, that's standing up with honor. We're going to talk about the role of honor, which is key to how this is dealt with. Then you're standing up with honor, a man of honor, a woman of honor, ultimately a disciple of honor. You're standing up as a disciple of honor, a man of honor, a woman of honor, and that's what life's about. I knew right from wrong, and I deliberately chose wrong over right. I don't blame society or my parents. It's on me. Can you feel the dignity in that? The power? Because once you take responsibility, then you can say, no, I'm not going to do that again. I've not always lived with honor, but I will die with honor. And I'm going to show you the way of honor, the path of honor. Now, a key thing about the wrongs we've done: do not, under any circumstances, never make excuses for what you've done. Do not do that. That weakens you. Do not make excuses. Well, that person did this situation. No, don't make excuses. That reduces the honor that you already have. There are what are called mitigating circumstances. You might have been young, desperate, lonely. You did some things. Those are mitigations. If you stole, you felt maybe it was the lesser of two evils, or you had children to support, or whatever. Those are just mitigation. That's no excuse. There's no excuse for the wrongs we've done. But there are mitigating circumstances. Very often, lack of maturity, lack of honor. We weren't as mature as we are now. So that understanding leads to a very forgiving attitude towards ourselves. And even more than that, it then leads to a forgiving attitude and a tolerant attitude, a compassionate attitude to others. Because you say, well, you've done that to me, but hey, I've done that to people. I can't judge you because I've done it. When I'm driving, I never get angry at other drivers. If they get angry at me, that's one thing. If somebody cuts me off or they have a sudden stop, I've done so many stupid things, so many errors on the road myself. There, by the grace of God, I'm still here. So I don't get angry at other people for their mistakes. And that's kind of a prototype for how I live. I've done so many wrong things, made so many mistakes. I really don't react to other people's mistakes. So when you look at your own errors, it'll make you, and the wrongs that you've done, one of the great things about facing the wrongs you did is then you'll be able to tolerate it when you see it in others. If you think you've led a perfect life, you have no regrets, you deny everything, you're going to really get a bad reaction to other people doing X, Y, and Z. You're going to get a bad reaction. And that's going to consume you. That anger, that judgmentalness is not conducive to your health, not conducive to your spiritual health, mental health, and physical health. It's not. So you have to understand that the mistakes that we've done, the wrongs that we've done, that we have regrets over, increases our wisdom. It's like my father said to me, he said, son, I have a lot of good advice to give you, a lot of good advice. Not because I've been so smart, it's just I've been so stupid. So my stupidity, your stupidity, enables you to help other people, help your children, your friends, parents, whomever. And to do it in a compassionate way without being condescending. So the mistakes we've made often led to pain and suffering, or what's called bad karma. And it's impossible to achieve wisdom without suffering. So the regrets, the wrongs that we've done can increase our wisdom, because there is no such thing as wisdom without suffering. Impossible. You cannot achieve wisdom. You can't read a book, or you can't have somebody just tell you something. You really have to go through the fire yourself to achieve that wisdom. Now, most of the suffering that I've had in my life, most of it, and most of the suffering that you've had, we caused to ourselves. We did it to ourselves. Whether it's our health issues or relationship issues or legal issues, most of it we did to ourselves. I know many people who passed away, people that I love dearly, they did it to themselves. I almost died of a heart attack when I was 61. I did it to myself by my eating patterns. Go on and on with that. We do it to ourselves. So we keep in mind again that we're talking about how to overcome regret over what you did and also over what you didn't do. Now, when you do it over what you did, it's typically because we hurt others, and over what we didn't do is typically because we hurt ourselves. A lot of times, the regret over what we didn't do is often connected to not following our dreams. Well, if a person doesn't follow their dreams, their calling, their destiny, their passion, there's regret. They didn't go for it. On their deathbed, they say, I wish I'd gone for it. I wish I'd gone for that relationship. I wish I'd started my own business. It's things that I wish I had done. You know, I didn't live up to my destiny. I didn't live up to my potential. The worst thing is what could have been. Somebody has said, the saddest words of all, might have been Whittier, is, it could have been. It could have been. So, you want to pursue that dream, your passion, your calling, your destiny, to whatever extent you can. You don't want to have that regret at the end. Now, I realize sometimes it's difficult. When you're younger, it's easier to do. But once you have a wife and kids, or a husband and kids, and you have responsibilities, but you don't want to use that as an excuse. No. The person that wrote the Harry Potter series, she was a housewife. She wrote it in the kitchen. She wrote it at the kitchen table, one of the greatest franchises and books and movies of all time. She wrote it on her kitchen table. It could be done. So I would suggest strongly, if you want to lead a life of no regret, pursue your destiny, pursue your calling, your dream, your passion. And certainly, the way of preventing future regret, the way to prevent that is to live an honorable life, to walk the way of honor, the path of honor. To walk the path of honor, I'm talking about honor as loyalty to your highest constructive values, as enshrined in what I call the 4 commandments of honor. Also can be called the 4 self-commandments of honor, the 4 principles of honor. It's something we already believe. I'm going to tell you the 4 commandments of honor, and you already believe in that. So I call them commandments because you're commanding the honor that's already within your being to arise into consciousness, into thoughts, words, and actions. You're commanding the honor that already resides within your being. It's already there. To arise into thoughts, words, and actions, into consciousness. The 4 commandments of honor are these. I wish you well. I take full responsibility for co-creating my reality and my problems. I'm grateful for the power I gain from hardship. And then one of 2. Either I seek always to serve my highest values, or if you believe in God as I do, I use God, you wish is my only wish. So for me, the 4 commandments of honor are, God, you wish is my only wish. I wish you well. I take full responsibility for co-creating my reality and my problems. I'm grateful for the power I gain from hardship. There you have it. 4 commandments of honor. So then, to have a life of no regret, you must commit your life to those 4 commandments of honor. And so then you take this pledge. It goes this way. As a disciple of honor, I pledge myself all the days of my life to the 4 commandments of honor. And I'll teach them to those I love. I'll repeat them every morning, afternoon, and evening, and I'll listen to myself recite them. Then when I have people take that pledge, say, welcome to the brotherhood, welcome to sisterhood. People, I've administered that to over 1,100 people. People, over 95% feel good right away. They feel more hope right away. Over 92% feel more meaning in their lives right away. Now, then you want to optimize the probability of applying it in reality. So you've got the commandments of honor. Then you want to optimize the probability that you're going to apply it. So then we have a bridge from what I call a bridge from honor to reality. The bridge is this. What's the most honorable thing to think, say, and do? What's the most honorable thing to think, say, and do? So for me, it would be, God, you wish is my only wish. I wish you well. I take full responsibility for co-creating my reality and my problems. Grateful for the power I gain from hardship. What's the most honorable thing to think, say, and do? Keep in mind, I'm giving you the path to a life of no regret. I'm giving you the path of a life of no regret. You have regrets over your past. That's normal. That's natural. But we can minimize regrets about the future. Now, if ever you find yourself getting away from the path of honor, let's say you get caught in an argument with your spouse, even though they started, but you start feeding the fire, as soon as you see it, you have to repent. You say, wait a minute, I apologize, I'm wrong for participating in this, please forgive me. Wait a minute, I'm adding fuel to the fire, I'm wrong, please forgive me. You're not saying you're wrong, because your spouse could be wrong too, might even started the whole thing, but you're taking responsibility for co-creating this. That's the key. Didn't say you created it. No. You're co-creating it. And whether that person then could apologize, whatever, that's on them. You've lived up to your code. This is the path of no regret. That's what I want to show you. We can minimize, perhaps eliminate, certainly minimize any future regrets. Now, you certainly don't want to miss out on opportunities to greatness. You can have regret. You have an opportunity for a great action, a great deed, a wonderful thing to have done, and you let it pass. But by doing the 4 commandments of honor and the bridge, you're less likely to let it pass. You get to recognize opportunity for greatness. You arise to take, you'll do something for somebody maybe you wouldn't have done before because you're a disciple of honor. Then, of course, there's another step going up from there, which is to become a devotee of honor, which then involves repeating not only the commandments of honor and the bridge, but also repeating the supremacy of honor code 3 times a day as well. The supremacy of honor code is this: honor before pride, honor before anger, honor before sex, honor before money, honor before fear, honor before everything, honor before life itself. That's the supremacy of honor code. Now, that's your priority. So whether you're frightened of something, honor's coming first. If you're angry, you're still putting your honor first. If you're prideful, you don't want to apologize, you're putting your honor first. You have a financial deal, you can make some money, but it's not right, honor before money. There's a sexual opportunity somebody you're really attracted to, but it's honor before sex. Honor before everything. Honor before life itself. Now, as you internalize this, and you have to be repeating it 3 times a day, listening to yourself doing it. It will not only affect your waking life, and because this is not only a way of reframing, it's also a decision-making way of doing things, because your decision-making is based on honor before everything. And also, your decision-making is based on the bridge. What's the most honorable thing to think, say, and do? Every thought, word, and action is weighed in the scale of honor. The gold standard for every thought, word, and action is honor. Now, you're going to get some dishonorable inclinations, some negative thoughts and feelings. That's natural, but you're not responsible for that. That's based on your genetics, family upbringing, societal norms. Our responsibility as disciples of honor and devotees of honor is to then balance it with an honorable thought. Not fight the negative, but just balance it. Balance it with an honorable thought. You have a thought of, I just want to tell this person off. I want to just slap this person. I wish you well. And wishing the person well like that is not nearly as powerful as the anger, but you're only responsible for that balancing. And what does happen is that the negative thoughts will come back less often. The negative thoughts will come back less often. That's the good news. Again, when you have these regrets, you let it harness the energy to accentuate your resolve to remain honorable and to not go down that direction again. And if you regrets over things you didn't do, let that then resolve your decision to quicken your heart, and you're going to go for that greatness when you have the opportunity, for that honorable action, that honorable word that you could give. You're more committed than ever. Because of what? Because of your regret. That's the power, that's the constructive value of regret. Again, a certain degree of guilt or shame is okay. You don't want a debilitating amount. Certainly don't want to be beating yourself up. You want to ultimately forgive yourself, and through understanding what happened and mitigating circumstances, remember, there's no excuses, but there is mitigating circumstance. So that understanding of what happened will enable you to forgive yourself. It's been my pleasure to present this to you. I'm going to ask if you have any comments. Lee, how about yourself?
You know, I'm grateful for the way that I grew up, because it led me to this path here. And at the end of my life, going toward the end of my life, I feel real good about myself. And I've learned that the path of honor, it's everything to me. You know, it allows me to live a life that I'm very happy with. There's a lot of things out there, but happiness is real hard to attain. And through the honor program, it's attainable.
You know what? True happiness is impossible to attain without honor. A person can have fun, pleasure, excitement, and entertainment, but not true happiness. Honor allows that to happen. Alicia, thank you for that, Lee. Alicia, have any comments or questions?
I do. I just wanted to say, kind of to piggyback on what Lee mentioned, is for me, I think it puts things into perspective as to what I want to do before I leave this earth. And that's for sure, live with honor and also go for it. You know, I feel like I've been a person throughout my life that sometimes may second guess herself. I'm very intuitive, so I need to listen to that and just go for it. Like, oh well, if it doesn't work out, like, try again, try something different.
You know, your only obligation is to live an honorable life and go for the greatness, and that's a wonderful decision you've made. It's been my pleasure to present to you how to overcome regret over what you did and over what you didn't do. Thank you for the opportunity to present this to you.